Welcome everybody. We're going to take a trip to West Virginia right now in a musical way with a Burl Hammons tune called Cranberry Rock. A lovely gem, and it's fun to back up as well on the guitar. So I think we'll see what we can get into, get Erynn to fiddle it for us, and here we go to West Virginia and Cranberry Rock, key of C.
Key of C, and this tune is related to Billy and the Low Ground. I think you'll hear it's in that tune family, but this version sounds really old, so we're going to play it kind of sparse and pretty.
And let me just point out the first chord is a G, which is kind of unusual too, but you'll see as we go. Beautiful. Thank you, Erynn. Cranberry Rock. I feel better after that. So
I love it too with a minor chord.
Well, minor chords are evocative, mysterious, and they're therapeutic, I like to believe. So we'll feel better after this tune.
But lots of ways you could play the chords too.
Lots of ways to back up tunes, yes. So let's just talk about, I mentioned the first chord is a G, so that's a good thing. And let's go ahead and think about, if you were thinking of this as a number system, like a lot of people like to do, the key of C, the C is the one chord, and the F would be 1, 2, 3, C, D, E, F. 4 is F, 5 is G, so that's 3 of the chords, and then we're throwing in that the little mystery, the A minor, which could also be an F chord. A lot of people would do F chords there. So 1 is C, F is 4, G is 5, and on up one more letter, A minor is 6. So cool. We might talk about a capo before we wind up. But the main need in this tune is such a pretty tune. It's nice. We'll just kind of keep it simple, I think. Just do some alternate basses, and we'll see how we like that. It's kind of what I was doing. So we're starting really on a G chord. And, of course, notice that you can play G with the first 3 fingers or your smaller fingers, leaving out the first finger. So that's always a good choice to try options and see what you like better. A lot of people like doing the smaller fingers because the C chord comes in easier. You know, you're like that and like that. So I kind of don't mind just throwing a big toss to get over there either way. So I like them either way. And on the F chord, I'll go ahead and mention, if you dance the bass, well, let's do a C first. Say you're playing the C with 3 fingers and you dance that bass low, which we do for a low bass. It's a little more punctuated, and I think it almost sounds smoother, which I'm going smooth for this tune. It's so pretty with all, like 1, 2, and then my little finger on the 5th string, and you kind of get an E shape there. If you played an E chord over there, just move that down to an E shape, first finger, and just see what you think. There's my 5 and 6 with all the fingers down, and now do it with the dancing bass. A little more percussive, so I want to do the pretty version. Same thing can happen with F. You could dance your 3rd finger, and again, I'm going to try using that E shape, a little smoother. So the first part is going to start on that G chord, and I'm just going to use G, 6, and 5, go to C, 5, and 4, and then that F I was just talking about, 4 and 5, with that E shape kind of there, twice. G again, try a different finger if you like, 6 and 5, C chord, 5, 4, A minor, 5, 4, and walk to C in the strum. That's the whole first part. So G, C, F, stay on the F, repeat, C, and then we're throwing A minor instead of F this time, and walk, and we'll repeat that part. Say this is the 2nd time. So just alternate basses, no walking, I think sounds beautiful. And a little substitute that A minor. First part. let's kind of think about a lot of people, fiddlers, when they learn tunes, the fiddle teachers will get people to sing the melody. Just kind of think about where the notes kind of landmarks. Da ba da ba. So you got that G ba 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 da ba ba da da. Goes kind of low, ba da ba. Stays kind of low. Da ba da 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 ba bum bum. So we kind of got a little outline. We're not doing all the notes, but think about where they kind of maybe geographically fall there. You know, if you were doing a little, a plot. You know, so let's do that a couple times, and then we'll go into the second part. It's going to be a pretty easy tune this time around, but I want you to work on the smoothness, the balance of how strong your strum volume is to your bass. Maybe make them pretty even this time. And no walking, just kind of nice alternating bass and just trying to get a pretty sound. So 1, 2, G chord. And repeat that part. Try different. So if I'm doing that low bass, you'll see I get that E shape. If I'm doing the fourth string, I don't need that. You know, another good tip on guitar backup or anything, picking any instrument, be efficient. You know, if you're not going to be strumming a certain string or playing a lower bass, you can work on the higher strings, thinner strings, and not put all the fingers down. If you're not picking the string you're fingering, leave that finger off. You know, have that flexibility in the fingerings. I wish I had more flexibility in many ways. So let's go ahead and look at the second part. And on the second part, we're not doing the F. We're going to just throw the A minor for a little more melancholy, perhaps. And they're almost the same there. Just to point out, if I played an F chord here, just 3 notes, to change that to A minor, all I do is lower my F to an E. So it's only 1 note different, really. So that's pretty interesting in it. So here, so that's there's A, F, right? And another thing I want to mention on the F chord, a good thing to try is playing that F chord. And if you're not picking the fifth string, just getting that thumb, get a nice thumb hook down there. It's a little hard for me. My thumb's pretty short. Got to get out the stretcher, my thumb stretcher. So you could try that low bass as well. So anyway, let's go to the second part. So it's a C chord. And I'm going to use the 4th string first, just 5 and 4 twice. Then you go to A minor, 5, and you walk back. That's the whole second part. So that's using 5 and 4 for 2 measures. Let's try doing the C chord. That would be the end of that, and we'd be going to the first part. But let's do that lower bass. So the low bass sounds kind of nice too. Right, so it's pretty good. So let's do the whole part, both parts one time, and repeating the first part, and then I might capo up for just a few minutes, and we'll see what it sounds like in a different capo position. And we'd have to rethink our chords too, our chord shape. So here we go, 1, 2, the first part. Repeat that part, almost like a square dance. Second part, C, A minor, one more time, first part, everybody rock. Second part's coming up. And repeat that same thing, or different on the bass. Beautiful. So if we capoed up, one thing, I won't get into capoology too much, but mainly you're going to be moving 2 or 3 frets if you're just going up one niche. We're going to go all the way up to the 5th fret, like my G chord's open, so G, A is second, B is fourth, and C would be 5. Remember, B to C is a half step. So let's capo up to 5 if you got a capo. And let's think about just 1, 4, 5, and 6. What would that be in the G? So you think about your actual key sound, which is C, and then you think about your capo position, which is which shapes you use to get the same sound. So up here, our C chord actual sound is going to be a G shape, and G, A, B, C would be the 4 chord, and C to D is a whole step, 4 to 5, and 5 up one more notch is going to be an E minor shape. So 1, G shape, C's the 4, D is a 5, and I like to get that thumb hook there sometimes, and then E minor. So that E minor is going to be the one where we get back at the end. So we'd start on that D chord. The first part would be a D chord and a G, and a C for 2 measures, and a D, and a G, E minor, walk back to the G, repeat. Pretty up there. C shape for 2 measures, D and a G, G minor, back to, so now you stay on that G second part, do do do, boom, E minor, back to the 1. We'll do the whole thing one more time, and start the first part. Repeat that part. The C shape, that's the 4 chord. Minor shape, back to the 1. That's the second part. Fun's not done. Never done. Fun's never done. That's a beautiful tune, Cranberry Rock. I think it's a really fun one. You go practice along with Erynn on the fiddle there, her fiddle video, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with that. And notice without the bass walks, it lets the tune kind of shine. So that's kind of a nice choice on that one. And you could try walking and see what you think. You always have a lot of choices. Chords are always a little bit, a little bit problematic to sort out what works the best. You kind of like whittling. You gotta keep whittling till you get the right shape if you're doing a sculpture or making anything out of wood or anything malleable. Same thing with chords. Try different chords, especially if it's a tune you're playing with a fiddler and you're playing maybe some bass walking or doing things that doesn't sound good. Say, okay, well, let me do a little less here, or try a different chord. And keep in mind that the 4 chord, we noticed that 4 chord and the F and the A minor down in the open position sounded only 1/2 step different on the note. So it's a big difference in sound, but a small difference in what you have to do to change the chord. So there's a lesson in there somewhere. But enjoy Cranberry Rock, and you're just picking those guitars. It's always a therapeutic thing to do. So take care. Thanks.